And welcome into the state tournament here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Starplex Complex. We are here live for the Sequatchie County versus Lexington game 1 here of the Class AA, state tournament for softball. Lady Indians will start at the top of the inning. Lexington is your home team. A couple of notes here. This is a rematch of the 2014 matchup between these two teams. Sequatchie County opened with Lexington in the first round back in 2014. They lost 16-2. They were run ruled in the fourth. I believe at the time Emily Yell was the pitcher, and they had to pull her out and put in a new pitcher. I think that was the only time that postseason that we had not had Emily Yell up there in the circle. It was the first state tournament for head coach Kelly Somerville. Teams were up here on the field. I was getting started a little early, and they come off. So I'm guessing we're going to wait about 8 minutes before we got the first pitch up here. Yeah, give us a heart attack to both of the radio commentators up here. We were getting ready to go up here. Got us all excited, got all the adrenaline going. We can still do a little bit of pregame here. So this team this season record 31-10. The Indians are out of the 10 losses. 4 of those teams are in the state tournament. That's Sell Creek, Baylor, and Marion County. They lost to Marion County twice, once in the season and once on the way here in the region final. That one was a 6-5 loss at home. Sequatchie County's beaten 3 teams currently in the state tournament. Sell Creek, Marion County, of course. We talked with they split 2-2 on the season. And Jefferson County, who's in the AAA bracket over here to our left, we'll see them. You'll see them throughout the tournament, I'm sure. Only 10 home runs for this squad. Not a very big power hitting squad. 72 doubles. A lot of those going. I think like 20. I don't have it pulled up. Over 20 of those to Ella Edgman. I'll tell you that when she comes up to the plate. It's 27 triples, 289 runs, and 232 left on base this season. That has been some of the troubles in those losses for Sequatchie County. They get them on base, and they can't get them back down to home plate. If you're joining us, thank you for joining us. This is TSSN Radio, Spear Nation Radio, formerly. And we're here at the state tournament, the Starplex Complex here in beautiful Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Empty field right now. Umpires conversing. Got a pretty big crowd here for both sides. Got a lot of red and black on the right, and on the left, down the third base line, your purple and gold for your Sequatchie County Lady Indians. Let's go through our lineups real quick. Got it up here. Batting lineup for the Lady Indians. Ella Edgman up first to bat. She's a shortstop. Addie Edgman, the sister, center field. Peyton Longson, second base. Jessica Dennis, she's going to be the catcher. Megan Hall, designated player. Callie Green, right field. Mackenzie Turner, she's the pitcher. She's going to be batting seventh in the lineup. Josie Worley, first base. Brooklyn, I believe it was. I didn't get that one down. Jaden Gurley, and she's going to be playing right field out there. Left field. That was Callie Green on right field. And then Abby McGowan, of course, is your flex, but she's also going to be your third base player there. Head coach Kelly Somerville, assistant coach Brandon McDonough, and manager Sienna Queen. So, also not playing today, but on the lineup, Kayla Horton, Alexis Farrell, Sydney Johnson, and Izzy Wood. So how do we get here, you're going to ask? Well, we had a District 7 AA champs. They beat Marion County 4-1. You got your win against DeKalb County in the opening round of the 4 of the regions. That's AA there. And that was a win over DeKalb County 4-3. A loss to Marion County in the region finals. That didn't put them out, though, because they still got to go to sectional. They had to travel all the way up to Sweetwater up near Knoxville. And they got the win on Saturday, 7-3. And, boy, was I sunburned after watching that one. Sequatchie County appeared 5 times here in the state tournament. 1989, 1990, where they won the state championship. 1991, 2014, and 2019. We're going to take the field. Lexington's going to be out in the field first. They're donning the black tops with the red pants for the uniform. Got a pitch out there, and now they already got them warmed up a few minutes ago. And now we're going to start here. Ella Edgman first up to bat for the Lady Indians. She's batting .602 on the season. 65 runs, 27 RBIs, 23 doubles, 11 triples, and still perfect in stolen bases. Get this, 49 of 49 in stolen bases. She's a sophomore for the Lady Indians. The Lady Indians in their white uniforms, purple stripe down the left side. The pitch comes in. It's hit. First pitch on. It's going to be straight to the first baseman for Lexington. That's Morgan Russell, and she's going to step on the bag, and she is going to get the out. That's out number 1 for Lady Indians. Addie Edgman's the next up. She is the sister of Ella Edgman, center fielder there. It's going to come inside. It's going to be ball 1 there for Edgman. Addie Edgman batting .532, still 0-0 as we start the first inning here. That pitcher's going to come in there. It's going to be just outside there for Weaver. Weaver got a 25-3 record, 30 earned runs, only walked 34 this season, 168 strikeouts, and a 1.27 ERA. Here comes from Weaver. It's going to be out to left field, and it's going to be missed off the glove. It's in fair territory. Addie Edgman's going to get to second. That's a double, and that's going to be her sixth double on the season for Addie Edgman. Now they're going to call that an error to our left fielder out there, E7 there. So, but she is going to be on second base there. Longston's going to bat up. It's going to be a slow roller, go to first, and they're going to throw it to third, check down. Addie's going to get to third there, and that's going to be a sacrifice hit right there by Peyton Longston, number 11. Longston usually got a batting average of .410. Not a lot of sacrifice hits for her. All right, up to bat now we have Jessica Dennis. She's your catcher today. She usually plays catcher or left field out there. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. Weaver, it's going to be hit on the first pitch. It's going to drop between the right fielder and center fielder there, and she's going to get to first on the single. And there's a first blood there from Addie Edgman. She is going to score. 1-0 Lady Indians here early in this first quarter. 2 outs here in first inning. I'm still stuck on football season. That was a while ago, even though spring practice was a couple weeks ago. Next up to bat, Megan Hall. She's a designated player. She usually catches when Jessica Dennis is not catching. She hits the first pitch. A lot of first pitch hits here. They're going to throw it to first, and they're going to get the third out there on her, and that's going to be a slow roller, third out in that first inning there for Megan Hall. Interesting first inning there. Last time we were playing this game back in 2014, the first inning did not go that well. That score, of course, if you're just joining us, was 16-2 back in 2014, and now Mackenzie Turner warming up. I gotta quit talking too fast. I'm getting tongue-tied over here. Warming up over here, and Mackenzie Turner, she is 28-7 on the season, ERA of 1.70, 189.1 innings pitched, and 209 strikeouts, 39 walks, only 7 home runs allowed this season, and on-base percentage against her is .229. 28. I want you to think about this. 2,800 pitches this season. 2,800 pitches. And now they'll give Dennis the gear, and she's getting set up out there behind home plate. Up first for Lexington, that will be Kinley Burke. She's a shortstop. If you're just joining us, 1-0 lead here as we go to the bottom of the first here. Lady Indians lead after a run comes in from Addie Edgman, and that was off the hit of Dennis. Mack in the circle. Mackenzie Turner. Like I said, she's 28-7 on the season. And she's been striking about 290 this season. Jessica Dennis behind the plate. She's called about half of them stealing 6 of 14, 169 putouts on the season. That's going to be just outside there for Burke. Not swinging at that one. Turner warming up. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be a strike. Got a 1-1 count so far here for Burke. First two pitches are split here for Turner. Beautiful day, hot day here in Murfreesboro as Turner comes in with a pitch, and that's going to be in there, and he's going to call that a strike. Got a 1-2 count here starting out. Turner, raise yourselves, comes in with a pitch. It's going to be hit foul down the third base line here. And it's still going to be a 1-2 count here. Well, thank y'all for joining us. I hope y'all are sharing this, liking, and following the page. Here comes Mack with the pitch. Burke's going to swing, and it's going to be a foul back to the fence here. Still 1-2 count on her. Well, thank you for joining us. Go like the Spears page and go add me on Facebook, and you can get all the stats and all the information you need this week as the Lady Indians try to take home a state title. Here comes the pitch in. It's going to be hit straight to Turner, and Turner's going to throw it, and it's not going to be in time to first. Burke will get on first, and that's going to be an infield single there for Burke. And it's going to be Burke. She's going to get the second. There was no one covering second, so she's going to steal that base. And Somerville, Coach Somerville, she's going to be she's down there trying to appeal this. Trying to figure out what's going on here. And Coach Ville, she's going out to the other umpire out in the field. She's going to talk to him for a second, try to appeal this. Waiting on an appeal here from Somerville. Ashlyn Cogdell is up next. Bill's going to talk to Josie Worley over there. Yeah. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. Just trying to get into the flow of things watching this. Turner's going to compose herself in the circle here as Ashlyn Cogdell is up. Number 4, she is the center fielder for the Lexington Tigers. Here comes Mack with the pitch. Going to be just outside on that one. Ball 1. Sequatchie County 31-10 on the season. Of those 10 losses, 4 of those losses came against teams that are in the state tournament. The pitch comes in from Mack, and it's going to be bunted foul there by Cogdell. And so that's going to be a 1-1 count now. Sequatchie County up 1-0 after a hit here in the top of the first by Dennis, and that sends that's an RBI for Jessica Dennis, and that sends Addie Edgman home after a quick out for Ella Edgman. Surprisingly, she usually is pretty quick and able to get to first, but she was out because she hit it straight to the first baseman. Here it comes outside. No, that's not going to be a strike there for Turner. Cogdell with a 2-1 count. Here comes Cogdell into the box. Turner composing herself. Here comes the delivery. In there, it's going to be bunted down the third base line to Abby McGowan, sent to Worley on first base, and that's going to be an out. That's going to bring Kinley Burt to third base, by the way. So we got one on third for the Lady Tigers of Lexington. Up to bat, that's going to be Mary Millette Taylor. She's the right fielder. In comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off to the fence. She's the right fielder, number 5 for Lexington. Well, thank you, Brian Lane. I know it sounds good. I'm on here, right, ain't I? Just glad to be out here and be able to do this again after doing it 5 years ago when they were up here. Here comes the pitch from Turner. Turner outside there. One and one count here for Taylor. Turner poses herself. 1 and 1 count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off down the first base line. It's going to go out of play over there. 1-2 count there for Taylor. Taylor, right fielder. She's a junior for the Lady Tigers. Turner taking her time with these pitches coming in, and that's going to be ball. Just outside there. I think I missed up top. Got 2-2 count for Taylor. Pitch from Mack. It's going to be fouled off again. Going to go to the fence right behind her to the right here. Beautiful day here in Murfreesboro. Looking over to my left, see the airstrip over here by the Starplex complex here in Murfreesboro at the Class AA state title game. Fans still rolling in. This is just the first game here tonight on this field. Murfreesboro with a lot of sports here this weekend. That's going to be a miss, and it's going to be a wild pitch. Dennis able to get it before Burt could capitalize on it from third. We got one out here in the bottom of the first. Sequatchie County leads 1-0 here at Starplex Field. Number 2, Burke on third for Lexington, trying to get in here and tie it up to match Addie Edgeman's score from the top of the first. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be a miss there, and it's going to be a walk there for a rare walk there for Mackenzie Turner on the miss there, and that's going to put Taylor on first base. Up next is going to be Brown. That is Kirsten Brown, her twin sister on this team. She bats 2 after her. Pitch comes in for Mackenzie Turner, and it's going to be a miss there. Got a stolen base there for Taylor. Turner waiting for Brown to come into the box. She steps up to the rubber. Big contingent here from Sequatchie County. The pitch is in. It's hit down the first base line, and Worley catches it in stride there on the pop-up fly, and that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Lexington at bat. That's going to bring up Morgan Russell, the first baseman for Lexington. She's the first baseman and a junior for Lexington. Waiting for her to step into the box. And she does. Turner stepping up to the rubber. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be just outside. 2 on base, by the way. That is Burke and Taylor on second. Burke on third. 2 on, trying to score. Here comes the pitch. Going to just miss there. That looked really, really close, but just going to miss there. 2-0 count here. Rare that you see Turner getting in these situations. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's in there, and it's going to be just outside. Turner posing herself. Russell in the box now, number 44. Here comes the pitch, and it is in there, and that is a strike. 3-1 count now. Turner precariously close to loading the bases here with a walk. She's got a 3-1 count here. Here comes Turner. With the pitch, it's going to be fouled off to the right. Now we got a full count. It's a hard hit ball down the first base line there. Welcome welcome in TSSN Radio. We're here for the Class AA State Tournament. This is Sequatchie County versus Lexington here on TSSN Radio. Turner with the pitch down the third base line. It's going to be hit just foul out of the reach of third baseman McGowan. McGowan gets it back to Turner in the circle. Here comes Turner. With the pitch, it's going to be hit. It's going to hit the gap between McGowan and Edgman. One's going to get in, and two's going to get in for Lexington. That's Burke and Taylor both score. Russell with the 2-run single. She's going to get in two with just that single there, and just like that, Lexington is up 2-0 here in this first inning. 2-1, in this first inning. And now the other half of the twin set, Kennedy Brown. She's the third baseman, number 8 for Lexington. She's a freshman. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's in there, and it's going to just miss. The first strike from Turner there. 1-1 count here. Turner stepping outside the circle. Brown stepping into the box. She steps into the circle. It's going to be in there. That's going to be a strike 2 there for Turner. Lady Indians down 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be way outside, down low in the dirt almost. 2-2 count. Here we go. Turner. She's going to hit it. It's going to hit the same gap that Russell hit earlier. It's going to slide by the second baseman. That is Longston. And we might get a score here. Here comes Russell, and they're going to call her out at home there, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. Making something out of nothing there. The ball just got past Peyton Longston there. I don't know if it was a bad throw or if it just went outside or what was going on there, but she missed it. Burke comes around to third base and decides she wants to go home and get another score here, and ended up getting it to Jessica Dennis, and that's going to be another put out for her as they get the third out of this inning and escape what could have been a worse inning. Could have been a very bad inning for the Indians had they not got it together on that out. But that is the end of the first. Our score here, 2-1. Lexington leads Sequatchie County after Sequatchie County took the early lead in the top of the first. J.C. Weaver, she's going to come back up to the circle. I want to thank y'all for joining. Sequatchie does have a lot of fans. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention here. Couldn't see the comments here. Sequatchie County does have a pretty good amount of fans here. They're backed up into the trees here at the Starplex Complex. Great scene. I just love these fields. They're really, really well done, really well maintained, and just a great setup here, especially up here in the press box here at Starplex. And up to bat, that's going to be Callie green. Number 3, she is a sophomore, and she is your right fielder. Up next is going to be your pitcher, Turner. She's on deck. J.C. Weaver with the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be a strike. Green's going to step out of the box. She's going to take a few swings, step back in. Weaver coming with the pitch. It's going to be going to get her out there on the corner. That looked a little bit outside, but she is going to get her. So we've got an 0-2 count here on Green. Green up against the wall here in this count. Here comes Weaver with the pitch, and it's in there, and it's going to be just outside. 1-2 count. No outs here in the top of the second. Lexington leads 2-1 here in Murfreesboro for the state tourney. Be sure to join us later. We're going to take a quick trip from here over to Smyrna High School as Sequatchie County takes on Loudon. As that pitch goes just outside there with a 2-2 count. We're going to be after this one. I want to take a quick trip over to Smyrna High School as Sequatchie County takes on Loudon in baseball in the first round of their state tournament. They're in the upper part of that bracket. Green, 2-2 count here. That's going to be a foul ball there. Lexington met with the Lady Indians last time around in 2014. 16-2 was that score back in 2014. As Lexington comes in, and it's going to be a just outside there. It's going to be a full count now as Weaver just misses that zone there. Green takes a step out. She's going to step back in here. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hit down the first base line, and she's going to suffer the same fate as Ella Edgman earlier. That's going to be out number 1 as the ball goes straight to the first baseman there, Morgan Russell, for Lexington. She's going to step on the bag, and out number 1 in the books here in the top of the second. Got all the way to a full count. Like to see that kind of battle in there for these Lady Indians. Up next, Mackenzie Turner, Mac, the Mac attack. She is your pitcher, and now she's at home plate. It's going to be outside there. It's going to be 1-0 count right now. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hit. It's going to be deep left field, but it's going to be caught there by your left fielder. That's Lauren Hall, number 3 for the Tigers, and it's out number 2. First baseman Josie Worley up to bat after this. She's come up with 2 outs. And these Lady Indians here in the postseason, they like playing ball on that second, on those 2-out situations there. I want to thank Rodney and Brian Lane for joining us. Please share on Facebook so everybody can listen in. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be from Worley to Worley, and she's going to hit it down the first baseline, and they're not able to get some good hits on that. That's going to be the 3rd out of this inning. Lady Indians struggling to hit off Weaver, who's 25-3 on the season, 30 earned runs, only walked 34 this season, 1.27 ERA Weaver. But Turner's going to come in, and she's going to start warming up. Starting to see a lot more purple start to walk their way into the stadium. Over here to my left, down the third base line, is where the Indians are, and down the first base line is going to be your Lexington fans over here. A lot of red and black over here on the right, and a purple and gold on the left. Always good to be here in Murfreesboro. A lot of things always change every time I come in. It seems like they got a new restaurant, new something every time I come up through here. I was just excited. I was sitting there squeaming in my pants because I was coming up the road up here, and I saw Chick-fil-A right over here beside the stadium, and I thought, it's going to be a good week here in Murfreesboro because I've got chicken within walking distance of the field. You can't tell me that's not a good situation right there. Up to bat for Lexington. Lauren Hall up to bat for the Lady Tigers. Mackenzie Turner in the circle. Low, it's going to be a low ball there. It's going to be just outside. Here comes the pitch from Turner. Turner is going to be in there. It's going to be a strike. Got a 2-1 count here for Turner. She's working on Lauren Hall, the left fielder for Lexington. It's going to be hit. It's going to go off the glove of Turner. McGowan and Turner just kind of, McGowan and Edgman kind of went the same way there, and they kind of didn't figure out who was going to get that ball, so it go off the glove of Edgman out into left field. Luckily, our left fielder out there was able to get it and not cause too much damage, but that is going to be on for Hall. She's going to get on first. And that pitch is going to be in there just outside for Luxmore. That is Macy Luxmore. She's the catcher, number 33 for Lexington. She's a senior. It's going to be a bunt. It's going to be high up. It's going to be a fly ball. And McGowan, Turner, and Worley all converge on that one. Somehow they got the out there, and that's going to be out number 1 there for Luxmore, for Sequatchie County, as they take Luxmore out on a fly. Now the pitcher, J.C. Weaver, coming up to bat, 25-3 in pitching, but she's number 6 here. Number 6 on the jersey, number 9 in the lineup. It's going to be just outside. They're going to check down to first. Didn't get her as Hall is on first. One 0 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Lexington up 2-1 over Sequatchie County. Here comes the pitch from Turner. Turner, it's in there, and that's right down the middle, right down the pipe. That is a strike. 1-1. Here's our count. Please be sure to join us here later here at about 6:30 or so. We'll be going down to Smyrna High School, and that's a strike there from Turner, and that's going to be 1-2 count here on Weaver that Turner's working on. But we're going to go down to Smyrna High School because Sequatchie County and Loudon are going to take on each other in this first round of the Class AA baseball state tournament. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be a strike 3, and they're going to check down to first. No, they didn't get her, but that's going to be out number 2 there for Sequatchie County. That's going to be Weaver out on a strikeout. Now we're back up to the top of the lineup. Kinley Burke, she's a shortstop. Last time she ended up scoring off an RBI by Russell. But she singled last time up, so she's 1 for 1 today. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be throw down by Dennis. That's very rare that she doesn't get that down there. She's about 50-50 on that. And we got Hall on second on the stolen base. 2 outs here. Trying to get third. Dennis couldn't get it. Burke swung at that one, and that's going to be a strike after all that madness. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be hit and fouled off to the left side, over to my left side down the third base line here. And it's going to go up into the net, and that's going to be 0-2 there on the count. Burke steps out to swing. Lexington with uniforms, top black and pants are red. Here comes the pitch from Turner. Turner's going to be outside there, well outside. That's going to be the first ball of this at-bat. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Please share the link on here so everybody can get into it. I didn't have a chance to share beforehand. And that's going to be a strikeout for Turner. That's her second of the inning on Burke. And that's going to end this inning with a third strike. 4 up, 3 down. Lexington leaves one on base on second. That's Lauren Hall. And next up is going to be Cogdell. She's going to lead out the third inning for Lexington, but we're going to go up to the top of the third. And up to bat is going to be Girdley. That's Jaden Girdley. Girdley's a left fielder as Weaver warms up in the circle. They're going to throw it down, and we're going to get this inning going. Brandon McDonough's going over here. He's going to be the first base coach over here. Somerville over here at third near the dugout. But Jaden Girdley up to bat on deck, Abby McGowan. And up next is going to be the stolen base extraordinaire, Ella Edgman. That's your next 3 up. Girdley's going to step out of the box for this first pitch, and here comes Weaver. She's going to step up, deliver the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be just inside there for ball 1. And we are in the top of the third. Sequatchie County trails 2-1 to Lexington. Here comes the next pitch from Weaver. It's in there. It's hit by Girdley. It's going to be a pop-up to center field, and that's out number 1 here for Lexington in the top of the third here. Up next, Abby McGowan. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Ella Edgman, I was reading my lineup here wrong. McGowan's going to be the flex player, so she's not going to bat. So our next 2 up will be Ella Edgman and her sister Addie Edgman. Addie, the lone scorer in this game off an RBI from Dennis. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be out. He's going to take it. It's going to be a strike there, and that's going to be just on the edge of the zone there, but did get in there. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be swung at and missed there. 0-2, very rare for Edgman. And let's see if she can get on base. I would say, I don't know the stat there, but I'd say it's very rare that she doesn't get on base. She's going to swing, and they're going to call a foul ball there. Way to stay alive for Edgman. 0-2 count. Lexington leads 2-1 here in the top of the third. 0-2 count, 1 out. That 1 out was Girdley. Here comes the third pitch, and here comes the fourth pitch of the at-bat. It's going to be another foul ball straight back to the fence, more to the Lexington side than the Sequatchie County side. Edgman, she's going to step out of the box for a second. Wait a second. She's going to step back in with 1 out in this one. She got an 0-2 count, 2 foul balls on 4 pitches, and it's going to be outside, and you got the first ball of this at-bat, 1-2. Lexington with 7 state tournament appearances, 1 state championship. That was back in 2013. State tournament record of 20-13. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high there, and it's going to be miss. You got a 2-2 count here. Weaver's working on. It's going to be a 2-2 count for Edgman. 6 pitches here. Here comes the seventh pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be fouled off again. Staying alive here in the top of the third. Lexington up 2-1, over Sequatchie County. Here in the top of the third, 2-2 count, one out. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be down to the first baseman, and it's going to be caught there. Man, that's the same way she got it last time, so now she is 0 for 2 here. Edgman is, and that's going to be number 2. Man, hate to see that. She's a left-handed batter. She keeps hitting it right down that first base line where you expect her, but she keeps going to Morgan Russell there, and that's the third one. Russell has caught in stride down there and stepped on the bag for the easy out. So 2 outs now here. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. Weaver's going to be in there, and it's going to be just outside. It's going to be low in there on Addie Edgman. So we got a 1-0 count here for the first ball there for Addie. Addie and Ella sisters. One a junior, one a freshman. It's going to be hit by Addie. It's going to be shallow center field, but it's going to be caught there by the center fielder. That's Ashlyn Cogdell for Lexington. So it's out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here for the second inning in a row for Lexington. Now they're starting to roll a little bit. 2-1 still the score here from Murfreesboro. I want to thank y'all for joining Spear Nation Radio, TSSN Radio here from Murfreesboro. I look forward to hearing y'all. Sorry, it's a little bit low on the sound here. Trying to speak up. I know some of y'all are on Bluetooth speakers, can't hear it. Just kind of turn it up and kind of get there a little bit because it does go a little bit low. Couldn't get the volume up any higher than this. I'm going to work on that tonight afterwards. But we want to thank y'all for joining. And I'm going to try to share on some pages, try to share in the baseball. By the way, we will be doing the baseball game later tonight, even if it kills me. I'm going to head over to Smyrna High School after this game and try to get the Sequatchie County Loudoun game in baseball in tonight. So be sure to tune in for that as you have 2 Sequatchie County teams up here for the state tournament, and one in baseball, one in softball. Marion County and Whitwell also here for softball in the state tournament. We'll get you some updates on that here in a minute. Turner up to pitch. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to be a strike there for number 4, Ashlyn Cogdell. She is up. Yep. And she was 0 for 1. That was a sacrifice hit there by Cogdell. And there's strike number 2 there for Turner coming in. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes for Mackenzie Turner. So Ashlyn Cogdell. I want to say Cogdell, but I know it's Cogdell. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be way outside there, a little bit wild there, but caught by Dennis behind the plate. All right, sorry if y'all can't hear it. I apologize. I'm trying to get the sound working a little bit better on that, but I am going, and it's a lot of people are hearing it. And she's going to bunt it down the third base line to Abby McGowan, and she's going to fumble the ball around, and she's going to get is that going to be an error or a single? It's going to be an error on McGowan, and that's going to get her to first. That's going to get Cogdell to first base. Glad we're up here with our scorekeepers here helping us out, or else we wouldn't know what the heck we were doing up here. Gets first on an error. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to hit number 5, Taylor, as she's up next. And so that's going to be two on for Lexington here in the bottom of the third. That is Cogdell on second and Taylor on first after the hit by pitch. And just like that, we have 2 base runners on for Lexington. And the last time they had 2 base runners on in this game, it didn't fare too well for Sequatchie County. Up next, we have Brown. That is Kirsten Brown, number 7, the second baseman. She is a freshman along with her twin sister, Kennedy. Turner. She's giving a long look on this one as she pitches it in. It's going to be a bunt down the first base line. Josie's going to get it and get to Longston, and she's just going to miss that runner coming in. That is Brown, and they are going to have 3 on for Lexington. One hit and 3 players on for Sequatchie County. I think at this point you got to maybe call a timeout, maybe stop and look at this for a second. Lexington stopping for a second as number 44, Morgan Russell, is going to come up to the plate. She's talking with Coach for a second. Russell, the first baseman, number 44, and she is a junior for this Lexington squad. Track team also up here this Friday at the Spring Fling, so congratulations to them and hope they do well here in the Spring Fling for our track team. I know we got a couple of teams in there, and we'll update you on that as we hear anything too. Oh, man. No outs. We got bases fully loaded, ready to go. Umpire, let's clean the plate off for a second, and let's get this back underway. Russell up to bat. She's finally going to get a chance to swing at a ball, and here comes the first pitch. It's going to be outside for Turner. Bases loaded, no pressure. This is a very precarious situation here for Turner. Let's see how she handles this. It's going to be swung to the shortstop, and they're going to throw it home, and it's going to be safe there. And that ball just getting there right after that was Cogdell on the run, and all base runners advance on that one. Russell is on first, and that's going to be another score. Lexington is going to be up 3-1 now after that one, and Coach Veal is apparently going to appeal that. I think she may be trying to look for some kind of interference. I don't know if that was even possible there, but I think that may be what she's trying to go for. Yeah, well, I mean, here's what she had to do. McGowan had the ball. She was trying to throw it home. Runner was going in front, so she pumped, she stopped, and then she tried to throw. Well, you know, in that situation, you really just want to throw through because if they get in the way, that's their fault there on that. But so we're waiting on the umpire's signal. Kennedy Brown, one of the pairs of twins here for Lexington, she's up to bat. They're finally going to let this ball game continue. And the first pitch in there, and it is going to be outside. That is a ball. Turner composing herself. She's in a precarious situation here. Loaded bases, 1-0 count, no outs, so she's got to figure out a way to get out of this mess without getting too much damage. And it's going to be just outside. Not going to call a strike. So we got a 2-0 count for Turner. And now we're going to stop play again. It looks like they're going to try to get a courtesy runner for Morgan Russell, and they will. That one. Yeah, they're going to replace Morgan Russell with Morgan Sanders on first. And so we still got bases loaded, no outs, 2-0 count here in the bottom of the third. Lexington leads 3-1 in this first round matchup between Sequatchie County and Lexington. Well, thank y'all for joining us. We're trying to I'll share on my timeline here. Here comes the pitch from Turner, and it's going to be a strike called. No swing on that one, and we got a 2-1 count here. Brown Kennedy Brown going to step into the box, and it's going to be a strike on him swinging. They're going to throw it down the third, try to check down on the – who was that on third? Try to check down on Taylor. They don't get her. Ball goes back to Turner. All right. Brown coming back in. Here comes Turner with a 2-1 pitch, and it's going to be fouled off into the net up top over here to the left third base line for y'all at home. They're trying to visualize this. Turner waiting for Brown to step back into the box. Brown does. And it's going to be out to center field straight on, and it's going to be caught there. They're going to throw it to home, and nobody's going to advance there thanks to the swift arm by the center fielder there for Sequatchie County. That's Addie Edgman. Great throw down by her after the catch, and now we got one out there. Brown is going to be the first out of the inning. Bases still loaded here for Lexington. Lauren Hall up to bat. She's number 3, left fielder for the Tigers. It's going to be bunt down the third base line. It's going to be called a foul ball. Oh, it's going to... They're going to call her out because she stepped out of the box when she went to hit it. So that's out number 2 here on Lexington. And so stepping in, that's going to be Luxmore, 33. She is the catcher for the Lexington Tigers and a senior on this Lexington squad. 2 seniors on this Lexington squad. So now 2 outs and two batters, and that's going to be a strike there for Turner on the first pitch. Whew. Great game shaping up here as we have a 3-1 lead by Lexington. That's going to be fouled off by Luxmore. It's going to be 0-2 now on the count. Luxmore with an 0-2 count. Turner trying to put her out on this pitch. Bases are loaded. Bottom of the third. 2 outs. It's going to be outside there. Going to miss. And now we got a 1-2 count here for Luxmore. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be hit to left field. It's going to be an easy catch there by the left fielder, Girdley. And it's going to be your third out of the inning on Luxmore. And Gowan. That was Jaden Girdley with the third out of that one. Luxmore with a pop fly out to left field. Bases loaded. Bases loaded for a lot of this inning, and only 1 run scored during that inning. So I say that's a pretty good job there for Turner to be able to contain that and not let that get out of hand. You had 3 straight batters, I believe. You had 3. The last 3 batters were the last 3 outs. So you got to step up or gain your composure and step into that, and that's just what Turner did. Now the Lady Indians are back up. Peyton Longson is going to lead off here, followed by Jessica Dennis and Megan Hall. Peyton Lawson, the second baseman. She's a junior on this squad. For 1 in this game. Bats .410 and 40 RBIs on the season, 9 doubles, 1 triple, and 20 for 22 on stolen bases. So you better watch out if she's able to get on base because she is able to get to second and stretch these singles into doubles and triples on those stolen bases. J.C. Weaver in the circle. She's 25-3 on the season, 30 earned runs, and that's going to be a pitch in there. It's going to be high out of the zone there for ball one. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be hit down the third base line and straight to Morgan Russell for the first out of this inning, and she is 0 for 2. Longson is now 0 for 2 in this game. You got two batters here in Edgman and Longson, Ella Edgman and Peyton Longson, who combined are like 70 and 72 for stolen bases. That's going to be an outside corner strike there as Dennis is now up. She's the catcher for the Lady Indians. She's a sophomore for the Lady Indians. Had to make sure of that. I always get confused with some of these people because some of these players because I've grown up with them and kind of seen them. And that's going to be juggled by the second baseman there off the hit for Lexington, and it is going to get to first, and that is going to be the second out of our inning. That was Kirsten Brown juggling it around and getting it over to Morgan Russell on first base. Now Megan Hall up to bat, third batter. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be a swing and a miss there for Hall. Weaver on that pitch. We got an 0-1 count. Lady Indians not being shy about swinging the ball, and swinging, you saw in the first inning, they were swinging on first pitches, trying to get as much as they could when they got up early. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be outside there. We got a 1-1 count. Hall, the designated player. Usually running catcher when Dennis is not in there. She is a freshman. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be hit to right field. It's going to hit the gap between right field and center field. She's going to try to make a double out of this, and she does, and she's going to be called safe at second. She's going to call time, and that's going to be a double there for Hall. And next up, Callie Green. She's a sophomore, and she plays right field for the Lady Indians. Bats .294 on the season, 16 runs, 24 RBIs, and 4 doubles this season. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line and thrown to first for the third out of the inning, and the Indians strand Megan Hall on second, unable to get her home. And so now we got 4 up, 3 down now for the Lady Indians, and we'll go to the bottom of the fourth here as Lexington tries to add some more runs to their 3-1 lead here in Murfreesboro. I want to thank y'all for joining. Hopefully y'all are sharing this so some other people can join in. In between innings here, going into the bottom of the fourth here, Lexington, the home team, so they bat last. Be sure to join us later tonight, 6:30, 6:20 pregame show from Smyrna High School as Sequatchie County takes on Loudon in the first round of the Class AA state baseball tournament. We got some softball action, and we're going to turn over to some baseball action, so we got a long day for me here, and then I'm going to be driving back down to Dunlap tonight, and we'll be back up tomorrow, see what they're doing. And the first pitch comes in from Turner. That's going to be low. And that is up to bat. Weaver up to bat. It's going to be outside there, 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch from Turner, and that's going to be a strike inside, 1-1 here. J.C. Weaver up to bat. Next two up, Kinley Burke. She's on deck. And Ashlyn Cogdell. The pitch is in there. She swings, and that's a strike. We got a 1-2 count here for Weaver. Pitcher battle here. Well, thank y'all for joining. And be sure to share this the link so everybody can enjoy it and be tuned in to what's going on. And a third strike there, swinging. That's out number 1 for the Lady Indians as Weaver goes out. And now that's Kinley Burke. She's going to step up to the plate. Last time out, she struck out. And the first time up, she ended up scoring off a RBI from Russell. So she's 1 for 2 on the day. Here comes the pitch. It's in there, and no, it's going to be outside. 1-0 count here. We're in the bottom of the fourth here, just about halfway through this game. Lexington leads 3-1. There's no outs, and it's going to be another miss there. It's going to be a 2-0 count. Burke, number 2. She's a shortstop, and she's a junior for this Lexington squad. Another junior, Turner, coming in with a pitch, and it's going to be outside. That one wasn't even close to the zone on the far right over here. Burke, a left-handed batter. They are playing this like she's going to hit it to the left over here. Center fielder's over to the left. Center fielder and left fielder shading very well to the left. Big gap between the right fielder and center fielder. One out here, bottom of the fourth. Lexington leads 3-1. We got a 3-1 count here, and here comes the next pitch, and it's going to be a strike. So now we got full up. We go from 3-0 to full up here in just 2 pitches. Here comes Turner's going to step up to the pitching rubber. I thought she was coming, but that wasn't it. She's going to come in and hit it. It's going to be caught in the air by Edgman, Ella Edgman, that is at shortstop, and that is out number 2 here for Sequatchie County, and they're going to try to get their third as Cogdell. Ashlyn Cogdell comes up. She's the center fielder, number 4 for the Lexington Tigers. In the first inning, she grounded out to first, and then she scored. And then she scored off an RBI later in that one. It's going to be outside there for Turner on this one. Got a 1-0 count. Turner composing herself. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and that's going to be a strike right down the middle there. Got a 1-1 count on Cogdell. Here comes the pitch from Turner. Cogdell going to hit it. It's going to hit Edgman. Ugh. And Cogdell's going to get to. That's going to be a base hit, a single there for Cogdell. A hard hit ball to Ella Edgman. Where'd she take that one? Looked like it almost hit her face, but it looked like it hit her face at first, and I think it just hit her chest up there. And Coach Brandon McDonough, assistant coach, he is out there with her, talking to her, seeing how she is while the umpire watches on. And play is halted on the field as Cogdell, with 2 outs, is on first. And taking it like a champ here as she steps back up. Up next, Taylor. That's Mary Millette Taylor. She's the right fielder, number 5 for Lexington. She's going to step up. He's going to step into the box now. Turner getting ready for the pitch. She delivers, and it's going to be in there, and so that's going to be a strike. On the edge of the corner, on the edge of the zone, but that's all that matters. It got in the zone there for strike 1. 0-1 count, bottom of the 4th, 2 outs. Lexington leads 3-1 over Sequatchie County. It's going to be fouled off there by Taylor, and it's going to be strike number 2 there off the foul ball. 0-2 count. Turner with 3 strikeouts on the game. Here comes the pitch, and that is going to be just outside missing. And we got a 1-2 count. And Mackenzie Turner gets her 294th strikeout on the year for out number 3 here on Taylor. Next up on the other side of the inning is going to be Brown, Russell, and Brown for Lexington. Let's take a look at this Sequatchie County next 3 up. Pitcher Mac Turner off that 294th strikeout on the season. She's going to be up next along with Josie Worley, the first baseman, and Jaden Girdley. She's the left fielder for the Indians. So that was 8-0 Southside. And an update there, Marion County not doing so well. They're going up against Jackson Southside. They're trailing 8-0 in the fourth inning there as we get underway with this 5th inning for this game, and that's going to be just outside. Turner in the box, and Weaver coming with the pitch, a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup, and that's going to be a foul ball there, and we got a 1-1 count. Next 2 up after Turner, Josie Worley's on deck, and holding back is Jaden Girdley. She's the left fielder for the Lady Indians. J.C. Weaver, 25-3 on the year, only walked 34 this season up to this game, 168 strikeouts. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to be just outside for her. 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be a strike there for Weaver. And we got a 2-2 count. Weaver. Looking at her wrist for a sign. Comes in with a pitch. It's going to be inside there. We got a full count here. Got 4 Valley teams up here. Sequatchie County baseball and softball are up here along with Marion County and Whitwell. As it's hit up there by Turner, she's going to hit the gap behind second base. It's going to be a diving attempt there by number 7, Kirsten Brown. That's going to be a miss, and that's going to go down as a hit there. And that's a single there for Mackenzie Turner. Oh, man. Doing good. Up next for the Lady Indians, Josie Worley, first baseman for Sequatchie County. She's going to step in there. Weaver's still in the circle. 1 on for the Indians. It's the third hit of the game there. Mackenzie Turner on base, and they're going to check her down to first, and she is going to be out of there as they check down to first base. Oh, man, that's going to be the first out of the inning, and you hate to see that. Somebody that doesn't get on base a lot, 298 hitting. Turner does have 2 home runs, 2 triples, and 7 doubles on the season, only 4 runs. That was a throwdown, and that was, whew. Got a 1-0 count here for Worley. Worley is going to go. It's going to have another pitch, and it's going to be inside now, 2-0. Hate to see that kind of out check down right there. You just got to be paying attention right there, especially if you're in a situation where you're down 3-1 or down by any, really. You got to be thinking, listen, we can't chance anything here. We need to play a little bit more conservatively to try to get those runs. It's going to be a 2-1 count after the strike on the edge of that zone, far edge. Worley, a right-handed batter. It was on the right-hand side over here. It's going to be a foul ball from Worley, and just like that, it's 2-2 after the 2-0 start to this at-bat. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Weaver looking down at her wrist for the call. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside. Look lower than that one while ago, but it looked kind of in that same zone. So we're going to have a full count here for Worley. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be hit down the third base line by Worley, and that's going to be a foul ball. Full up here. Well, thank y'all for joining in. Yeah, listen to Brian Lane. If y'all are listening on the app, you can hit the waves and it increases the volume. I don't know on desktop, but thank you, Brian Lane, for figuring that one out. I know you're listening here. And that goes to the shortstop for Lexington from her knee. That's Brown. She gets it to first base. Or it's Burke, excuse me. Kinley Burke from her knee gets it to first base, and that's going to be out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. Jaden Gurley. Yeah, Jaden Gurley is up to bat. She's the left fielder for the Lady Indians. Trying not to be that elusive third out that has been plaguing this Sequatchie County team. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be shallow left field, and it's going to be a single there for Gurdley. She gets on base. Gurdley bats .333 on the season and had 20 strikeouts. That's the most on the team of any of these. She's 6 for 6 on stolen bases, so you better watch out for her while she's on first. Top of the 5th. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be in there. It's going to be Ella Edgman up to bat. We're back at the top of the lineup. And she's going to swing at that one. 3-1 is your score. Lexington leads Sequatchie County. Here in Murfreesboro at the Class AA State Tournament at Starplex Complex. Field number 2 is where we're at. That's going to be a high ball there. And so we got a 1-1 count here. For Edgman. Edgman, the shortstop for the Lady Indians. Weaver, a 25-3 pitcher. She comes in, and it's going to be low, and that's going to be outside, and that's going to be ball number 2 for her on this at-bat. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to share this on Facebook. We're live. We got the link on the Spear and on my personal page, Chandler Morrison. You can find me on Facebook, too. And we will be at the baseball game later today as that pitch comes inside, and it's going to be high and inside for ball number 3. That's going to be 3-1 count now for Edgman. We're back up to her. 2 outs. Top of the 5th here. Lexington leads 3-1. And Sequatchie County Baseball will take on Loudon at 6:30 this evening. If we can get out of here, early enough, we'll try to get down there and get some pregame done for that one. It's going to be swung out by Edgman. Edgman's going to send it to the second baseman. That is Kirsten Brown, part of that pair of twins there on second and third. And that's going to be out number 3 for Sequatchie County there in the top of the 5th. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th. Excuse me. They leave one stranded. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th where Lexington will take over home plate. And they lead Jaden Gurley on first there, unable to get her in for a score. And it's starting to be crunch time for these Lady Indians as they're down by 2 runs. Definitely not the 16-2 massacre we saw last time these two teams played in 2014. But still a dire situation here. And it looks like this Sequatchie County team came prepared. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a list there. I was going Looney Tunes on y'all. But a close game here. Looks like they came ready to play. They're just not right now. They're just making some mistakes that they shouldn't be making. One error for both of these teams. But you can see there were some miscues that weren't labeled as errors for this Sequatchie County team, especially on defense that led to Lexington scoring 3 runs in this one. Really, honestly, if they played the right ball game here, it should be a 1-1 game. But some miscues there that maybe weren't even errors, that were just miscues caused that. Next up, and up to bat on a bunt. That's going to be a foul ball and caught by Dennis. And that's going to be out number 1. That's going to be Brown. That is, got to check which Brown that is. Kirsten Brown, the second baseman. 1 pitch, 1 out as Jessica Dennis dives behind the plate for that one in foul territory for the first out of this inning. Now up to the plate, the first baseman, Morgan Russell. Sandwiched in between the 2 twins on this lineup. Pitch is in there, and that is going to be high. Looked like it was straight over, just a little bit high there. That was on the first pitch there for Brown, and that's going to be fouled back for Russell, and so we got a 1-1 count. Last time up, Russell. She hit a 2-run single that caused that caused a 2-run lead, caused that 1-run lead for Sequatchie County to vanish in the bottom of the first. And now she's back up to the plate, and that's going to be way outside there for Turner. This is not the Turner we're used to seeing. She's still doing great. She's still getting the outs, maybe not strikeouts, but she's getting the outs, and ground outs and pop flies are even more are as important as getting those strikeouts. She hasn't allowed any runs in the past 2 innings, including this one. That's going to be out there, and that's going to be up against the fence for Morgan Russell, and that could have been a home run if the wind was going the right way. That could have been over the fence, but it wasn't, so it turns into a double after they let that one go up there. And that will go down as a double as Russell gets on second. And now 1 out, 1 on for Lexington as Brown comes up. That's Kennedy Brown. She's a third baseman for the Lexington Tigers. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be outside. Looks a little low there for ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Turner, and that's going to be low again to 0 count. Got a scoring update. Jackson Southside over Marion County. What was that, 8-0 in the 4th? In the 4th steal there. Marion County not faring so well up here in the first round of Class AA state tournament. Same could be said for Sequatchie County, but at least at this point, it looks like they've got a better chance of winning their game than Marion County does theirs at this point. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be in there for a strike. Be the first strike of this at-bat. It's going to go down the first base line there, going to miss Josie Worley's glove, and they're going to round third. Russell does, and she comes in for the score. It's going to be an RBI single there for Brown. RBI there for Brown as she gets to first and gets a run in. That's Russell. 4-1. Lexington leads Sequatchie County, and it's not really miscues from Turner in the circle. It just seems to be fielding miscues, and that's been what has plagued this Lady Indians team when they have had trouble in this postseason, and now they're filling it up here at the state tournament here in the first round of the Class AA state championships. Here comes the pitch from Turner after a long look from her. It's going to be outside there low. And up to bat, that's Lauren Hall, and that's going to be a 1-0 count now for her. We got one on and one out here for this Lexington squad. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be, they're going to check down to first, but it's going to be outside and no out there. It's going to be a 2-0 count now. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be in there for a strike. 2-1 count here on Lauren Hall, the left fielder, number 3 for the Lexington Tigers. Turner giving a long look as Hall steps out of the box. Here comes the pitch. It's in down the pipe, and it's going to be just outside there. Looked a little low. Ball 3. 3-1 here, 3-1 count here with Hall up to bat. You got one out. You've already had a run this inning. 4-1 Lexington leads. It's going to be hit to the shortstop, Edgman, and Edgman's going to try to go to second. Probably should have tried to go to first there, but she's going to go to second. The runner's going to be safe. Now 2 on with 1 out in this inning for Sequatchie County, and this is one of those situations that they got into earlier. It ended up putting another one on base, and now you've got 2 runners on base right now. You get 3 runners on base. It just looms impending disaster as these bats for Lexington just start to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And now she's on first. Hall is on first, and Brown is on second. Luxmore up to bat. The pitch from Turner, it's going to be in there, and that's going to be a called strike. Luxmore's going to check back with coach, see what she needs to do, check her wristband. Turner coming with the pitch. It's going to be fouled off, not even down the first base line, just over to the fence, and that's going to be an 0-2 count now. Turner in the circle. Luxmore finally steps in. Dennis behind the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside. And so we got a 1-2 count now. Hall on first. That's for Lexington. Lauren Hall on first. Kenny Brown on second. 2 on. Only 1 out here in this bottom of the 5th inning. Try to keep as much damage away from as possible. That's going to be popped up and caught by the first baseman, Josie Worley. She's going to check second, fake the throw. No, she's going to hold on to it. And Mackenzie Turner gets that ball back. And that's out number 2 there. Luxmore takes the second. Up next, Weaver, the pitcher for the Lady Tigers. Been doing a pretty good job at keeping the Lady Indians from scoring and hitting that ball, but now she's going to try her lot at it. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be hit over the head of Josie Worley down the first base line, down to the right fielder. And Brown is going to round third, and she will score just as Jessica Dennis, the catcher, gets the ball from our right fielder over there. That's Callie Green. Got one on the corners over here. Weaver on first, Hall on third. 5-1 now to score here in the bottom of the fifth. Mackenzie Turner in the circle, finally. Burke steps into the box. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be low, and it's going to be ball one here. Kinley Burke is up to bat, shortstop number 2 for Lexington. Turner, 28-7 on the season. Coming into this one, she had 290 strikeouts, 189 innings pitched. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off into the AAA field over here to our left. It's going to be a one. It's going to be strike one there, and we got a 1-1 count. With Burke, it looks like with Burke, they're shading over here to the left in the outfield pretty well, on a big gap over here in right center field. That's going to be ball 2 there. You know, you would expect a left-handed batter to be hitting toward right field, but they're expecting her to hit left. They must have been watching some film or something. I don't know. Or seeing what she hit earlier, probably, but they are definitely shading left here as Turner comes in with a pitch. It's going to be fouled down the third base line there, narrowly missing that third base. We got a 2-2 count, 2 on, 2 outs here in Murfreesboro for this TSSAA Class AA State Championship here in Murfreesboro at Starplex Field, number 2, where most of the AA action is going to happen after tonight. Some fields happening on McKnight Field tonight to start it out, and there's a fouled off pitch there by Burke. Turner in the circle. Burke stepping in. Here comes the pitch from Turner, and it's going to be a slap hit there by Burke. It's going to get to second. That's going to be out number 3. That run does not score there, as it is the third out there of the inning on Burke, and that was to second base. And that's the end of the 5th inning. Getting set to go to the top of the 6th here. Sequatchie County next 3 up. They've struggled here of late, but next 3 up are going to be Addie Edgman, Peyton Longson, and Jessica Dennis are your next 3 up for Sequatchie County as J.C. Weaver gets set in the circle. Well, thank y'all for joining us. We're getting ready to start the 6th inning here. The top of the 6th, Sequatchie County will take it, and will be up. Will be Addie Edgman, Peyton Longson, and Jessica Dennis are your next 3 up. And Indians need to rally. They're down 5-1 against Lexington here in the 6th inning. It's do or die time. You got 2 more innings to try to even that, maybe get over that. It's looking a little bit more dire as the time goes on and the innings pass by with no runs. The Indians have not scored since the 1st inning, and that was Addie Edgman getting home on an RBI there from Dennis. Finally set to go, Addie Edgman, the only scorer this game. She steps up to bat. Weaver in the circle. She'll look down at her wrist, see what she needs to do. She'll step up to the rubber. Here comes the pitch in there, and it's going to be just outside, a little low there for Edgman. Ball one. Here comes the pitch. It's in there. She's going to get past the second baseman there. That is Brown, Kirsten Brown, and she's going to get on first there. And she hit that gap pretty nicely, and now she's sitting on first. And she's pretty good at stealing bases, too. She must get it from her older sister. Here comes Peyton Longson up to the plate. She's grounded out twice in this one. And she's one of these. Longson and Edgman, Ella Edgman, are known for their base stealing. And there's a strike there delivered by Weaver. And you really want to get Ella Edgman, you really want to get Peyton Longson on base because they can steal. Addie Edgman, really the first three up, can steal, and they can get to second, they can get to third, and try to sneak their way, small ball their way to home as Peyton Longson takes this 1-0 pitch. And it's going to be just outside there. For the first ball there. I was looking at the wrong batter over here. One and one count here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line. Going to be barely fair, and that's going to be a sacrifice hit by Longson as Addie Edgman gets to second. Jessica Dennis, the catcher, she's going to step in. She has five home runs on the season. This is one you would want to come up to the plate. 5 home runs, 7 for 8 on stolen bases, 11 doubles, 5 triples, 51 RBIs on the season. And she is, was that a foul? Foul ball there on that one. So we got an 0-1 count to start off Dennis's at-bat. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off back to the fence. Weaver, no strikeouts on the game. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off there by Dennis. Oh, 0-2 count here for Dennis. Weaver surprisingly had no strikeouts during this one. She's had 168 throughout the season. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside there, and they're going to check down to second, and they're going to call her safe. That was a close one. The ball would have been on point there. I'm sure that would have been an out. 5-1 Lexington leads Sequatchie County. Top of the sixth here. We got one out. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be down that third base line. One, two count here. One out, one on. Addie Edgman sitting on second, waiting for her chance to round third and come home. Jessica Dennis in the box. Weaver steps up to the rubber. Here she comes as she delivers the pitch in there, and it's going to be outside. They're thinking hesitation on there. They're going to check down to second, and Addie gets back to second easy. Now we have a full count, 3-2, one out, one on. Top of the sixth, Lexington leads Sequatchie County 5-1. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. In there, and it's swung out. It's going to be down the line. It's going to be foul ball. And that one traveled down there, got to the third baseman there. That was Kennedy Brown, and waiting for her to touch it so it could go foul. And she did, and we have a foul ball there. Still full up. 3-2 count here for Dennis. Weaver looks down at her wrist looking for the sign. Here comes the pitch. Will she get a strikeout? It's going to be hit up. Pop fly. Looks like it's going to go shallow or deep infield out there. And it's going to be caught there by the second baseman. That is Kirsten Brown. Or excuse me, the shortstop, Kinley Burke caught that one, pop fly. And that's going to be our second out of this inning. Addie Edgman still sitting on second, waiting for her chance to round third and possibly try to get this game within a few runs. 5-1 your score, Lexington over Sequatchie County at the current time. Up to the plate now, Megan Hall, designated player, usually does catching when Jessica Dennis is unable to. And it's going to be in there. It's going to be outside for the ball. Megan Hall, freshman. Here comes the pitch from Weaver, and it's going to be fouled off and get out of there, out of the play over there, over the dugout. Going to bounce off the dugout and hit over here in the crowd watching the AAA game over here. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs. Sequatchie County trying to get back in this one. You got to think you got to start a run here, so in the 7th inning it's not so daunting looking at a 5-1 deficit. Outside that pitch is, and that's going to leave us with a 2-1 count for Hall. Weaver with the pitch. It's going to be foul. It's going to be popped up, and it's going to be missed there by the catcher. And Addie Edgman's going to get home on the missed fly out or missed pop fly, and that puts Megan Hall at second. Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out. I thought he called an infield fly for a reason. Then I looked and there were no runners over there or something like that. So now we have Addie Edgman home. So that's another run for the Indians. And now Hall is sitting on second. Are they going to call that a double or an error? Okay. And they are going to call that an error, but she will get to second base. So now 5-2 the score with Callie Green up to bat. And that's going to be a strike on the first pitch. Green, she's grounded out twice in this one, and trying not to do that this time. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be outside the zone there. 1-1 is the count. Megan Hall sitting on second, waiting for her chance to round third and go home, just like Addie Edgman got her chance a while ago. And now it is 5-2. The Indians finally get a run after that's going to go fair ball, and they're going to get her for the third out. That was a close one. It goes down the third base line to the third baseman, Kennedy Brown. She picks it up in fair territory, throws it over to Morgan Russell on first, and that's the third out of the inning. They strand Hall on second. Your score, 5-2, Lexington over Sequatchie County. Here as we go to the bottom of the sixth, 1-run score by Sequatchie County in the sixth. They had a 4-inning drought, second, third, fourth, and fifth inning, no runs, and now they got one in the sixth. But Lexington will have another turn to bat here as they lead 5-2. Next 3 up for Lexington. It'll be Ashlyn Cogdell, Mary Millette Taylor, and Kirsten Brown will be the next 3 up. Turner warming up. Be sure to join us, 6:30. About an hour from now, hopefully we can get this game over with, and we'll be over in Smyrna at Smyrna High School as the Indians, they will take on Loudon at Smyrna High School for the opening round of the Class AA State Baseball Tournament. So be sure to tune in, and hopefully my voice won't go out by the time we get to the end of that one, because that one's sure to be a longer than a softball game. Stepping up to the plate is Cogdell, number 4 for the Lady Tigers, and she's the center fielder as well. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's outside. That one came in there fast, but missing. That's going to be a 1-0 count there by Cogdell. For Cogdell, excuse me. Turner coming with the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be high. Two-0 count. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside, and they're going to call it a strike, though. It's going to be just inside that zone. And now we have our first strike of the at-bat, 2-1, Mackenzie Turner. Turner giving a look, and that's going to be swung at by Cogdell. It's going to be fouled down the third base line. So we got a 2-2 count now. Two-two count. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be outside there as Cogdell runs up, trying to slap it, but sees at the last second that it's going to be a ball. Full count here for Cogdell. Turner giving a look, long look. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit by Cogdell, and it's going to be, and Peyton Lawson's going to dive for it, not get it. It's going to hit the gap, and it's going to be the center fielder, number 12, Addie Edgman. She's going to get that ball, and she's going to throw it into Ella Edgman, her sister, at second, and they're going to stop the run from going to second. Runner from going to second. And Cogdell, she's on first. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's going to be popped up to Worley, and that throws Taylor out. That is Mary Millette Taylor. That's our first out on a fly out. Pop-up fly out there for her, and that brings Brown up to the plate. Kirsten Brown, one of the twins for Lexington. Turner's coming with the pitch. It's in there. It's a swing and a strike. They're going to check down to first. No good. Nope, they're not going to get her. So we have a strike here. 0-1 count. The Sequatchie County side here is filled to capacity, only standing room as Turner hits another strike there. Brown has an 0-2 count on her, and the Indians trying to get out of this inning so they can get some runs in the next and hopefully make up for that 5-2 deficit they have. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be outside. 1-2 count here. Turner's going to step out of the circle, step back in, go to the rubber. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off there by Brown. 1-2 count still. Beautiful day here, hot day here in Murfreesboro for this opening round of the Class AA State Championships. Baseball plays at 6:30 later today at Smyrna High School. We'll be there on the call for that one if we can get out of this one in time. And we'll see the Indians take on Loudon as the ball is hit by Brown, popped up, easy out to Peyton Longson, the second baseman, and she gets back over to Turner in the pitcher circle. The first baseman, Morgan Russell, coming up to bat. She had an RBI in the first inning, stranded on first in the third, and she was a part of an RBI from Brown. She's part of an RBI that scored there from Brown. And here comes the first pitch for her. Here comes the strike, and it is. So we got an 0-1 count here to start off this at bat. Russell looks down at her wrist, see what the call is, see what she should do. Steps into the box. Here comes the pitch from Turner. It's fouled up, and it's going to land on the net. If the net wasn't there, I'm sure that would have came in the park, but it's going to go up and around the net, up above the field there, and that's going to be a foul ball. 0-2 count there for Russell. Turner steps back into the circle, waiting for Russell to step back in the box. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be just outside there. Well, actually, a little bit more outside than I thought. And we got a 1-2 count. Brown sitting on first here. Excuse me, Cogdell on first. I had a little brain fart there. Cogdell on first. Here comes the pitch to Russell. She's going to foul it down the third base line. Still a 1-0 count. Russell with a 1-2 count as they wait on Turner waits on her to step in the box. Dennis squatting down, getting ready to take this pitch. Here comes in. It's going to be fouled off straight back to the fence by Russell. Ashlyn Cogdell on first here. 1 on for the Lexington Tigers. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off again by Russell. 2 outs. Okay. I guess did Brown fly out or ground out or whatever? Yeah. Ground out, okay. Make sure I got that. I missed that one. It's a super long at bat here by Morgan Russell. Still got a 1-2 count on her. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be high in there, and we're finally going to get something besides a foul ball in this at bat. We got a 2-2 count for Morgan Russell. She's hanging in there. Whew. A lot of pitches for her. If you're Turner, you're trying to get this out right here, this strikeout, because you got 2 outs. This would be the last. It's going to be a pop-up, and if Dennis can hold on to it, as she does, and it's going to be an out as she steps onto home plate to grab that high pop-up. That's the 3rd out of the inning. No damage done there for the Lady Indians as we go to the top of the 7th. It's going to be the last chance for the Lady Indians to try to tie this up or try to get up on the Lexington Tigers. They trail 5-2 in this one. Next 3 up, Mackenzie Turner, Josie Worley, and Jaden Girdley. Turner got on the last at-bat. She got on first. She got on first, and then she was thrown out. She was thrown out from or caught stealing going back to first there for that first out of the 5th inning there. Worley got out on a fly out, I believe, and Girdley got on base, but Edgman was out next in that 5th inning. So we got 1, 2, 3 here, Turner, Worley, and Girdley. We got the 7, 8, 9 lineup here as Mack, the pitcher for Sequatchie County, steps up to the plate and goes up against Weaver, the 25-3 pitcher from Lexington. Here comes the pitch from Weaver in there, and it's going to be a strike for Turner. Or strike for Weaver against Turner. 0-1 count here. Here comes the pitch from Weaver in there, and another strike. 0-2 count. If you're Turner, you got to. I mean, if you're Turner right here, you've got to get in one of these gaps here. Maybe get a double out of this. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. It's going to be hit down the first base line, and they're going to call it foul as it's fielded by the first baseman there. That is Morgan Russell. She's going to field it right there, right outside of fair territory. Little contest there from the Lexington head coach to the umpire. They're going to continue play now. 0-2. Weaver waiting on the call. She gets it. She's going to step up to the rubber. Here comes the pitch winding in, and it's going to be outside there. Ball 1 on this at bat. 1-2 count now. It's live or die right here for the Lady Indians. If they win, they play tomorrow evening. If they lose, they play tomorrow morning. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a swing and a miss there for Mackenzie Turner. She's used to being on the other end of that one. But she is struck out by Weaver. Josie Worley, she steps up to the plate. 1 out on the Sequatchie County Lady Indians. She swings at the first one, and she's going to miss it. So an 0-1 count now. Worley, the first baseman. She's a senior. She graduated on last Friday. Here comes the pitch, 0-1 pitch, and it's going to be in there, and it's going to be inside. Excuse me. 1-1 is the count. Waiting on Weaver to step up to the rubber. She finally does. Worley waiting in the box, and the pitch comes. It's going to be swung at, and she's going to hit it down the third base line. 1-2 count now for Worley. She's working on it. Trying not to suffer the same fate she had last time, grounding out in the 5th inning. Weaver steps into the rubber. She delivers the pitch. It's hit by Worley up high in the zone. It's going to be fouled out, and it's going to land on Sequatchie County's dugout. It's going to be foul ball, not an out. Looked like it might land in the field there, but it did not. So we still got a 1-2 count here for Worley. She's going to recompose herself, take a few swings, and then she's going to step back into the box here in just a moment. Weaver ready to deliver the pitch. Worley steps in, looks up. Here comes the pitch, 1-2 pitch. It's going to be outside. Now it's going to be a 2-2 count. We're 45 minutes from first pitch of the baseball game. Sequatchie County takes on Loudon at Smyrna High School, and we'll be on the call. I'll be on the call for that one. After this one ends, we'll see if the Lady Indians can't recover from this 5-2 deficit. Here comes the pitch. Worley hits it to the third baseman. That's Brown. And easy out to Russell. That was Kennedy Brown, one of the twins for Lexington, getting the ball over to Russell for the second out of this inning. Jaden Girdley Last chance for this Lady Indians squad to advance to tomorrow night instead of tomorrow morning. She got to first her last at bat. She's 1 for 2 during this game. That's going to be a called strike there for her. 0-1 count now. Weaver comes with the pitch. Here it comes in. Just outside for her. It's going to be a 1-1 count now. Beautiful day here in Murfreesboro. We started this game. We had about 2 rows of cars out beyond the outfield fence. Now we have about 6 or 7. That's going to be outside on that pitch from Weaver. And starting to pile up with fans. I would assume there's a lot of Creekwood fans over here on the left side here. We saw Creekwood team watching this one. A lot of purple from Sequatchie County over here in the left. Standing room only. I'm sure there's a lot of them that can't even see the game right now because they're standing behind the stands. And it's a swing and a miss there by Girdley. They look very similar from up here, and now we got a 2-2 count. Weaver, she is going to try to get a strikeout here, and Girdley foul ball down the third base line. It's up and over, but just far enough that the right fielder over there for Lexington, Mary Millette Taylor, can't get to it. Girdley with the last hope for a win in this opening round game for Sequatchie County as they take on Lexington. 5-2, your score here. Lexington leads the Indians in the top of the 7th. Lexington is the home team. They get it out here. 2 outs, by the way, right here. They get out here. That's the ball game. Here's the pitch. It's in there. It's going to be up high, and it's going to get just over the shortstop there. That's Kinley Burke. And Girdley, she is on first. And this is exactly what you want. Your 9th batter gets on base, and that puts you up to Ella Edgman. Addie Edgman and Payson Longson would be the next 3 up if they get that far. And that is your solid core of batters for the Lady Indians here. Ella Edgman, 49 of 49 for stolen bases this year. Here comes the pitch. It's in. She's not going to swing at it. It's low, and good eye for her. It's going to be a 1-0 count now. We got 1 on, Girdley. 2 outs, 1 on. Girdley on first. She was the 9th batter. Now she's at the top of the lineup, Ella Edgman, the stolen base extraordinaire. She's going to take a crack at this, and it's going to be out. So they're going to call it a strike. It's going to be on the outside zone, but it will be a strike. 1-1 is the count. Sometimes where I'm sitting, I can't see those low strikes on the side opposite of me, which would be to my left. The pitcher will be looking at to the right. Kind of hard to see that because the catcher's down there. The pitch comes in. It's going to be low and outside, and then we got a 2-1 count. Edgman thinks about it, but she pulls out at the last second. We want to thank y'all for joining. Hoping y'all are enjoying this broadcast of the Lady Indians as they take on the Lexington Tigers in this first round of the Class AA State Softball Championships. Here comes the pitch from Weaver, and it's going to be in there, and it's going to be inside. Now we got a 3-1 count. If you're Edgman, just get on base. If you can get on base here, you know, if you can get on base from a walk here, you've got 2 great batters behind you. So however you get to base, however you get to base. Don't try to be a hero in this section. And it's going to be in there, and they're going to call that a strike. So now we're going to be 3-2, a full count here. And now you just got to swing at whatever you can right here, if it's close. Weaver is going to come with a pitch. It's going to be hit by Edgman. It's going to fall in the gap between left field and center field. And Edgman's going to get to second. Girdley is going to go home. And now it's 5-3. Only 2 runs down with 2 outs left in this 7th inning, or 2 outs in this 7th inning. Lexington still has a chance if they were to tie it up, but right now Sequatchie County just trying to get a tie or a lead here, and they're doing a good job of that as Edgman gets that gap out between the left fielder and the center fielder. Now up to bat, Peyton Longson, as Lexington calls a meeting at the circle. Addie Edgman is up here, and you got to think this is an ideal situation for Coach Somerville, that you've got to the bottom of your lineup and got out of that ninth batter, and now you're back at the top of your lineup, and it's like a fresh ball game here. 5-3 your score, down 2. Sequatchie County is 1 on. That's Ella Edgman. She's on second. If you're Lexington here and you want to keep you've got to stay composed here, and I think they're losing a little bit of that here. We'll see how it goes as Addie Edgman, the sister of Ella Edgman, looking at each other between home and second. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. He's going to call a strike there. That was a little low, but he will call it a strike. It's going to be just outside there. 1 ball, 1 strike here. They've not scored more than 1 run in any inning. This will be a good inning to change that streak. Here comes the pitch from Weaver. Addie Edgman up to bat. Hits it over into left field, but it's going to be foul over there. And Ella Edgman, the speedster, almost gets home there. She's going to have to run almost from home plate over to second base. So now it's a 1-2 count. They're working on Addie Edgman. 2 outs in the top of the 7th here. If it's an out before they get to 5 runs, Lexington wins this ball game. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high up in there, and we got a 2-2 count. Weaver looking for the sign, looks down at her wrist. Here she comes with the pitch. Could it be the strikeout? And it's going to be hit foul. It's going to fall in the foul territory over on the third base line. 2-2 count still. So Sequatchie County looking to stretch this game out and try to get 2 more runs here at least, hopefully 3 to try to get above this lead. 1 on base, that's Ella Edgman. She's on second. Here comes the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. And that's going to do it for us here from Starplex Field number 2. The final score here, Lexington is going to win 5-3. One run in the first, 1 run in the fourth there. No, yeah, the 6th there, and then 1 run in the 7th. Sequatchie County trying to make a game of it, could not. But only a 2-run deficit. You got to think that's good if they can get out of this losers bracket and build their way back up. They will play tomorrow. It looks like they will play here on Starplex Field number 2 at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be on the call for that. That's going to be an early wake-up time for me tomorrow. I'm going to drive back from Dunlap up to this game, and love to see this. Got both teams out on the field right now in the circle. They're praying. That's always great to see here at a state tournament, being the example for everybody around them, being the example in this team. This is not what we saw last time around these two teams played. 16-2 was the score then, 5-3 the score now. Sequatchie County will now have to fight their way out of the losers bracket to fight on for another state championship. Usually here's where we would do our post game, but we got to get rolling. We got to get to the baseball game. We'll get a little pregame in there for you, talk about this game a little bit, and then we're going to have some baseball action at Sequatchie County. They will take on Loudon at Smyrna High School here at 6:30. And your final score here from Murfreesboro in Starplex. Field number 2 in the Class AA state championships. 5-3 Lexington. We'll see y'all here at about 6:30. God bless and go Indians.